Have you ever wondered, could something you do today ripple back in time and change the past? Or more chillingly, could choices made in the past have been guided by events yet to occur? I mean, what if the future is constantly editing history, like chalk wiped off a blackboard and rewritten bit by bit? If that just gave you goosebumps, you're in good company. Today, we're diving into perhaps the most mind-twisting concept in all of physics, retrocausality in quantum mechanics, the idea that the future might loop into the past, creating a cosmic dance of cause and effect, unlike anything we've ever imagined. Ready to have your brain turned inside out? Let's go. Hi there, I'm Olympia. For those of you returning, thank you so much for being here. Every single one of you who keeps coming back to these episodes makes this deep dive into the universe possible. And hey, you're probably in a minority of people that actively searches for the bizarre and complex answers in physics. It's not always easy, but wow, is it rewarding, right? And if you're new, welcome. Grab a coffee or, heck, something stronger. Because this topic today, it's going to twist your view of time and reality. Let's jump in. So, to even approach this concept of retrocausality, let's start with some basics. Retrocausality isn't just a made-up sci-fi term. It means exactly what it sounds like. Retro, meaning backward, and causality, the idea that one event causes another. In our usual world, causality is a one-way street. You flick a light switch, and the bulb illuminates. Simple. But what if you flicked that switch, and instead of turning the light on, it actually caused the power company to generate electricity yesterday? Sounds wild, doesn't it? But in the mysterious world of quantum mechanics, the idea of retrocausality isn't just plausible. It could be hiding right there in plain sight. Okay, quick pit stop. Have you heard of the double-slit experiment? It's infamous in physics. One of those foundational demonstrations when trying to wrap our heads around how reality really works. Briefly, imagine you shoot particles, let's say electrons, at a barrier with two slits in it. Behind the barrier lies a screen to catch each electron like a map lighting up where they land. Now, when you're not observing the electrons, they behave like waves. They seem to pass through both slits simultaneously, creating an interference pattern, like ripples in water. But the instant you observe them, boom, wave behavior collapses, and they behave as if they went through just one slit. It's as though the particles decided how to behave based on your active measurement. After the fact. Creepy, right? Could we interpret this as the future's measurement choice, influencing the past's particle behavior? And this is where people like John Wheeler, famous physicist extraordinaire, took the thought experiment up a notch with his delayed choice experiment. He basically asked, what if you change your decision to observe the particle after it has already passed through the slits, and supposedly decided to act like a wave or a particle? Spoiler alert, the outcomes still seem to match your newly made decision, as if the electron somehow knew what you'd choose. Retroactively. Alright, let's hit pause here. How is that even possible? To make sense of that, let's look at some of the ways scientists and thinkers have tried to untangle retrocausality. Starting with transactional interpretation. I love this one because it's more imaginative than you'd think quantum physics would ever allow. Okay, picture this. Normally, when something interacts in physics, we imagine it sending out a wave forward in time, right? A photon leaves your lamp and hits your eye. But in the transactional interpretation, it goes both ways. There's a forward in time wave and, wait for it, a backward in time wave. These two waves communicate, handshake style, agreeing on the interaction as though past and future shake hands before deciding what actually happens. Mind-blowing, right? And then, get this, there's another camp of thought, the two-state vector formalism. It takes the idea that not only the past affects the future, but symmetric weirdness. The future also affects the past. Everything that exists is described by two vectors, one evolving forward through time from cause to effect, and a second, backward from the future into the past. It's like watching two cars drive toward each other in slow motion. both shaping how that collision plays out. Now, skeptics raise legitimate questions. If retrocausality is real, why isn't it blatantly obvious in our day-to-day lives? Why doesn't answering an email cause the sender to rethink what they wrote before hitting send? Here's where it gets subtle. Retrocausality, if at play, most likely operates at the quantum mechanical level, the world of electrons and photons, not the messy, macroscopic world we live in. Physics at the microscopic level is fuzzy and probabilistic. It's guided by uncertainty, whereas flipping pancakes in your kitchen is, thankfully, not. Here's another twist. Could this retrocausal framework resolve those pesky paradoxes we run into in quantum mechanics? What if apparent randomness in particles isn't randomness at all, but prearranged cooperation between the past and the future? Some physicists argue this could bring clarity to quantum entanglement. You know, the spooky action at a distance Einstein loathed so much. Quick detour into entanglement for this one. When two particles interact and become entangled, their properties remain linked regardless of the distance between them. If you measure the property of one particle, the other instantly knows what spin or polarization to show, even though they're separated by vast distances. But imagine this. The particles' entanglement wasn't just a local event in the past. It involved information shared not only by their pasts, but by their relevant futures too. It's no longer action at a distance. It's an agreement across time. Still hanging with me here? Because now we step into the advanced zone. Unresolved questions, the frontier. Let's ask, if retrocausality operates at the level of quantum mechanics, what's stopping us from scaling it up and testing it in real-world scenarios? The barriers here are colossal. Isolating quantum systems from macroscopic interference is ridiculously hard. But don't write off the possibility entirely. Artificial quantum experiments in the future, finely controlled and maybe even built with retrocausality in mind, could crack the door open further. But here's the spiciest question. If retrocausality is real, does it come with limits? Could influencing the past be probabilistic rather than deterministic? Like nudging events a little rather than overriding them? Or could it follow strict conservation laws, preventing paradoxes like changing something that would have catastrophic consequences? We're in uncharted waters, chasing specters of what may be physically real, but sits just beyond testable reach. And finally, here's what really blows my mind. If the future affects the past in small, quantum ways, does this open the door for a new way to think about free will, determinism, and even our understanding of time itself? Is time just an illusion, with the past, present, and future as entangled as particles in one grand cosmic web? You might be tempted to stop and wonder if it's all just dressing up philosophy and physics lingo. But real experiments hint at these questions being more than philosophical musing. And if humanity has proved one thing, it's this. No matter how perplexing, no matter how paradoxical, reality will reveal itself in time. Or will it already have? And that's our journey into retrocausality, folks. What do you think? Is the future tinkering with the past? And if so, what might it mean for everything we think we know? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, because I'd love to dive in further with the sharpest minds out there. Yeah, you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Honestly, building hyper-focus is only possible because of your incredible support. Stay hyper-focused, and remember, when the past shakes hands with the future, reality spins into the surreal.